Alrighty. Let's see here. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Let me just test really quick. That works. And now I will bring up all the other stuff. And boom. There we go. Alright, so I'm back. This is going to be a long stream if you saw my community note. Because I haven't been streaming or posting anything for the past week or so, or not week or so, 3 weeks, because I haven't had really time, because the end of the school quarter was ending, so, you know, a lot of stuff to worry about there. But, yeah, I'm back, and I am back into the shiny lock. 475 encounters for Chimchar so far, and today I'm hoping we get at least another, like, 300, so we're trying to almost double our encounters here, just in a single stream. So that tells you how long this might be. Let me know if any of the audio level. Oh my god! Let me know if any of the audio levels are messed up. And just, you know, just tell me. I will fix it as soon as I can. And I will respond to just about any chat comment. Totally open to talk about basically anything during these streams because I have nothing else to do. And while I play, I do have a video at the bottom. This one is a Wolfie video. It's a new one about how what the best grass Pokemon is. So yeah, that's what this one's about. But go, and we're good. And if the microphone clicks are a little bit too loud, let me know. Or if I'm too loud compared to the video, please let me know, and I will try to fix that. But yeah, Redbeard Pirate, yo, what up? Welcome to the stream, Redbeard Pirate. You are the only one here, that's true. But basically, I'm just doing this shiny lock for Chimchar. Trying to get another, like, 300 encounters in today, because these encounters take a very long time. So, let me know if there are any audio issues or anything. Redbeard. And basically just resetting, talking, and playing this video. So I'm just going to start it up right now. I have not watched this yet, because it's brand new. But it's Wolf VGC. What's the best grass type Pokemon? So yeah.
For some reason, it feels like people think that grass type Pokemon aren't actually very good. On the one hand, I do kind of get it because grass type Pokemon have a ton of weaknesses, and they also used to be a lot.
They really do.
Now, since they've gotten a lot of buffs over the years, but no matter the reason, I feel like people just really underestimate.
I know Amoonguss is busted.
This is really funny to me,
but I don't really know much about the grass type other than that.
Right now, that almost every team that does
and
well
Rillaboom.
has at least one grass type on it. I myself just won a tournament using 2 different grass type Pokemon. Anyway, all of this is to say that there are actually a number of really good grass type Pokemon, and today we're going to be talking about some of the best. Before we talk about the 3 best grass type Pokemon of all time, let's talk about 5 of the best grass type Pokemon that are just barely short of the pinnacle. Starting with Venusaur. Okay, let's be honest. I mean, nobody clicked on this video and thought we weren't going to talk about Venusaur, right? Venusaur's been good pretty much since I started playing competitive Pokemon, which
Venusaur is pretty good.
a long time ago at this point, so
then again, any third evolution starter is pretty good.
There's Vanilla Venusaur, which we all know and love. There's Mega Venusaur, and then there is Gigantamax.
True. Venusaur gets a lot of forums, but I guess all 3 have that. All the 3 first starter Pokemon. Charmander and stuff. Oh my god, of course it doesn't have. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Let's talk about them all together. I think it actually makes sense to start with Mega Venusaur because that was the first time where Venusaur really entered competitive Pokemon as a main threat. To understand what makes Mega Venusaur so
I missed an encounter there. I do have a counter next to the dancing Chimchar there. And every 50 encounters, basically, I am going to do a Turtwig encounter just for fun. Mix it up a little.
That being said, they have a number of useful resistances, most notably to ground, water, and electric attacks, all of which are really hard to resist. A lot of the best grass-type Pokemon have a way of mitigating the high number of weaknesses, whether with the secondary type, an ability, or something else. In Mega Venusaur's case, it's the ability.
And sorry about the jank setup. I just moved where my streaming setup is, so I'm gonna have it all fixed up later. So it's a little jank now. Obviously, you can see me up here, but it's very off center. And you see a lot of the room, which is not great.
When X and Y first released and Mega Evolution was added to the game, the first 2 years of those formats, 2014 and 2015, Mega Venusaur actually saw a fair bit of play. I myself used it to win a regional alongside Mega Banette, which, just to be clear, was not a good Pokemon by any means. I'm gonna say
I think I might need to turn down my volume a little bit. I'll do that.
Where after I won, people were like, huh? And then nobody ever looked at Mega Banette again, which was probably for the best and the correct decision. Anyway, Mega Venusaur was really good because it was able to function as this kind of like end-game boss Pokemon where if you got rid of the flying and the psychic types, you could sometimes just put it in a position where the opponent just couldn't get rid of it. Being a grass type gives it access to a lot of really annoying attacks, and we'll touch on some of those more later, but here what I'm talking about is moves like Leech Seed and Synthesis, and to a lesser extent even Giga Drain, which can help keep its health really high and just make it impossible to get off the field. It also gives access to the move Sleep Powder, which is one of my personal least favorite moves of all time, and we're going to talk about Sleep Powder a little bit more later when we talk about regular Venusaur, but Mega Venusaur was able to use it as well. I guess that makes sense since they're both the same Pokemon. Yeah, good one, Wolf. Yeah, wow. That's the analysis you came here for, right, folks? Yeah, let's go, Wolf. Great analysis. Anyway, Sleep Powder is normally used
World Champ Diff
Pokemon to knock a threat out of commission.
on that analysis right there.
Trying to knock it out with, double up from the partner later or something, or another powerful attack. But Mega Venusaur was able to use it in a different way because of its bulk. Normally with Sleep Powder, you kind of get one chance, and if you miss, you might have a bad time, but with Mega Venusaur, it was so tanky that you could afford to miss once, sometimes even twice, and hitting all your Sleep Powders could have a really big effect on the battle. Mega Venusaur won multiple regional championships and at least one national championship in the first 2 years of X and Y, and even though it didn't see a ton of play after 2015, let's just say the other Venusaur forms would help to pick up the slack. So let's talk about base Venusaur. Despite also being, well, Venusaur, base Venusaur actually plays extremely different than Mega Venusaur. While Mega Venusaur is super slow and tanky and tries to kind of put itself in a situation where it can't be gotten rid of, regular Venusaur is fast and frail and really annoying. Its main use has to do with
really? Venusaur is fast and frail?
Makes it a fast and frail Pokemon.
I didn't think that was the case. Ever. It doesn't make any sense.
Earth Power and Weather Ball on top of the grass moves like Leaf Storm or Frenzy Plant or Giga Drain and Sludge Bomb. It would almost always hold the Focus Sash when in its base form, which would give you some insurance in case Sleep Powder missed, though because it was so frail, this was always a risk as well. Venusaur also saw some play in the first couple years of X and Y because you could only Mega Evolve one Pokemon on your team, and pairing Venusaur's Chlorophyll ability with Mega Charizard Y's Drought ability was a really dangerous combination. Non-Mega Venusaur actually won Australian Nationals back in 2014. Of course, most Venusaur in those early years were Mega Venusaur because you could just bring Charizard and Venusaur together and Mega Evolve better, or you just Mega Evolve Charizard and then give up on Venusaur's item. It wasn't that big of a deal. Venusaur really started seeing success.
Was Mega Charizard Y better than X? Let me know.
Certain formats allow for super powerful.
It's definitely doesn't look as cool, but
and you only get 1 or 2 of them on your team depending on the rule set. Venusaur was really nice because you can pair it with Groudon obviously to help set up the sun and double its speed stat. And Groudon and Venusaur both paired well with Xerneas. Xerneas was the ultimate setup sweeper, and so being able to use Sleep Powder to knock your opponent's restricted Pokemon out of commission for a couple turns while you either hit them with Groudon or set up with Xerneas could be really threatening. Now, it did take these restricted Pokemon for regular Venusaur to feel worth using. It basically saw 0 usage during 2018, which was the other year it would have been legal, but it had a lot of usage actually in 2019 with these powerful restricted Pokemon. It won multiple events, actually some of them back to back to back, and it was just a dominant threat in the meta.
I do remember seeing a lot of Venusaur in videos with competitive back during like I don't know, whatever. What? AFK Journey. I don't care about your game.
Venusaur reached the heights that Gigantamax Venusaur hit. Gigantamax Venusaur is more similar to base Venusaur than Mega Venusaur, in part because it's just like a big version of regular Venusaur, but there is something that is very, very different between the two. Gigantamax Venusaur gets access to a signature max move called G Max Fine Lash. This move was just completely nuts. Like, just to be honest, it was completely unbalanced. There were 4 max moves that had this effect. It was Colossal and then the 3 Kanto starters, and yeah, just like not balanced at all. I pretty much won the Players' Cup 2 just off the strength of Gigantamax Colossal, and Gigantamax Charizard and Gigantamax Venusaur were 2 other Pokemon that had the same effect that were just completely unbalanced. Like, I'll just be completely honest, they were just stupid. For anyone who doesn't know, number 1, you're very lucky. Number 2, here's what the effect did. If you hit a Pokemon even through Protect with a Gigantamax Vine Lash or any other equivalent, your entire team would lose 1/6 of their health every turn for the next 4 turns.
Oh my gosh.
Value out of this,
wait, your whole team?
A third of a team's total HP as a passive effect.
That is so busted.
Single move. Now remember, base Venusaur was already really good in the sun as just like a disruptive Pokemon that could sometimes do a lot of damage, but when you added on this capability, it became a complete menace. Thanks to Dynamax doubling its HP, you also weren't forced to run Focus Sash in the way that you were with base Venusaur, so you could do stuff like Life Orb to boost your damage or Weakness Policy, which could be very scary if you let it get set up because, yeah, I probably don't need to explain that to you. Now, events were canceled thanks to the pandemic during 2020 and 2021, so we didn't really get to see what Venusaur would have done if there had been like a ton of events, but the limited online events that we did have were, well, there was a lot of Venusaur, let's just say. There were 4 online events that served as kind of replacement to real life events during the pandemic called the Players' Cup 1, 2, 3, and 4. And Venusaur wasn't legal for the first one, but in the other 3 it placed 1st, 2nd, and I think 4th. So yeah, that should give you an idea of how strong it was. Now for all these tournaments, there wasn't like Groudon or another, I don't know, very powerful Sunsetter, so it had to be used with Torkoal, who is just, let's just say that Torkoal's a bit weaker than Groudon. During 2022, during the final year of Sword and Shield
Look at that
life
stat
cycle,
difference. Oh my
Groudon was
god.
back in alongside the other restricted Pokemon as we played a restricted format for this final year. Gigantamax Venusaur was probably as expected, very, very good. It won multiple regional championships and one of the 3
That's interesting because I guess I didn't really pay attention to competitive back during this meta because
a lot of the success of Venusaur
I don't remember seeing very many Mega Venusaurs.
And so while players have had success with it, it's really hard to kind of scrape that top level with Venusaur because it's just such an inherently risky move to use. That being said, it's still undoubtedly one of the best grass type Pokemon of all time, so it definitely belongs on our list. Okay, next up is a Pokemon who's actually already been on the best water types of all time list, Ludicolo. I talked a fair bit about Ludicolo in the best water type Pokemon video, and so I don't really want to talk too much about it here just because I mean, I've already been yapping quite a bit about Venusaur, so maybe we'll compensate by cutting Ludicolo a little short, but basically, it's a really good Pokemon. Its main niche is the fact that it's super good against rain teams, and I guess just weather teams in general, especially in a restricted format.
Nuh-uh.
And grass type, it's got a quadruple weakness to water moves.
What's up, Hammer Plays?
And it also resists grass as well without being weak to fire. Ludicolo has been used a lot over the years, both as a rain sweeper and as a counter to rain-based teams. Even in formats where there isn't Kyogre, it's still really good as a Pokemon that can abuse, you know, rain, and also as a Pokemon you can slap on if your team has a weakness to rain because it's just so good against water-type moves. It also has some utility because it's able to use Fake Out, which is disrupt opponents.
Dude, I swear I've never used a Ludicolo on my team ever.
I miscalled a lot. I actually feel really bad for water types, but not you, Ogerpon. I don't feel bad for you. Anyway, it's a bulky Pokemon. It can support its team. It works as a sweeper. It works as a tank. It's just overall a really interesting Pokemon. It's not higher up on our list because its stats are a little bit lacking, to say the least. It's had a really good role over the course of history, and I think it's a really cool Pokemon, and I think it works really well as a grass type. So, yeah, definitely.
I do think it looks cool.
Okay, new Pokemon time. Let's talk about Whimsicott. Whimsicott is similar to Ludicolo in that
Whimsicott kind of sucks, though.
Not very good, but it has other things that it can do, and I definitely think that it's one of the best grass type Pokemon of all time. Whimsicott's main role is as a Tailwind setter. It has the Prankster ability, which gives priority to all of its moves that don't do any damage, and Tailwind is one of the best supporting moves in the game, doubling its team's speed stat, and when you're able to use that with priority, it becomes very dangerous because you get the benefit right away. Prankster Tailwind is really valuable because changes to speed happen immediately, so being able to set Tailwind up before either of your opponent's Pokemon attacks almost always is going to result in your partner Pokemon moving before either of their partner Pokemon, which can be really valuable, especially if you have some like middling speed powerful attacker against a faster and trailer Pokemon. Whimsicott is cool typing, being grass and fairy type as well, and that comes with a lot of benefits too. Moonblast is a really solid attack since it has a really high base power, and that helps compensate a little bit for Whimsicott's lack of offensive stat. I actually looked this up recently because I was like, yeah, what's Whimsicott's base special attack stat? It's like, it's low, right? It's probably like 90. It's 77. Yeah, it's really, really, really low. For reference, that's
Oh my
lower than
gosh.
Pokemon like Dolive and Quilava and Monferno. So that
Dolive has a higher
Whimsicott's
special
other
attack
stats aren't
stat?
super great, but it does have a really high base
Stite.
speed stat, which is really useful on a Tailwind Pokemon. Most notably, it's faster than Pokemon like Thundurus and Tornadus, so it can use Tailwind before they can taunt.
Did you
it,
just say
which is a really big
Tornadus?
deal. Big Tears can
I
help
thought it
too
was
with the opponent
Tornadus.
set up for a powerful double attack. Helping Hand can do something similar and is useful in both physical and special attacking partners. Charm
Am I
can
wrong?
be used to actually really weaken a physical attacking opponent. Tickle does something similar, makes them a little bit less weak than Charm would, but also lowers their defense stat to kind of combo with a physical attacking partner. I've actually played against Worry Seed Whimsicott in a tournament where it used Worry Seed to override its own Regigigas' slow start, which is cool. And you can also use that to wake your partners up if they fall asleep against like Venusaur or other sleep-related Pokemon. So it has a really deep supporting move pool as well. Whimsicott saw a fair bit of
Ascension WoW is a standalone World of Warcraft
Ascension
private
WoW.
server that reimagines WoW in a brand new way. Instead of choosing a classic character select, you'll instead
usage back in 2015.
Bro, what's with the ads? I swear I've gotten more than ever now.
You could do something really mean and use Encore with Prankster Whimsicott to force the target to use the same move again, and then disable with Mega Gengar to prevent them from using that move that they had to use. And basically, this forces the target to struggle. Whimsicott's Fake Tears also paired really well with Mega Gengar's high special attack and high speed stats, making it a really dangerous duo. Just like Venusaur and Ludicolo, Whimsicott is also good in restricted formats, thanks to Prankster Tailwind, but also thanks to its other supporting moves as well. Multiple Whimsicott top cut the World Championship back in 2016, and other Whimsicott won regionals in that format as well. The following year, Whimsicott actually won the World Championship, using a really cool and creative Z Nature Power set, which let it use both Z Electric and Z Fairy, because it had both partner Tapus on the field, and the Z move would transform based on what the terrain was. Whimsicott did have a little bit of Sun and Moon, though it wasn't especially mainstream, but when Sword and Shield came around, it quickly became one of the best Pokemon.
I do remember a lot of Whimsicotts on the field.
Of Sword and Shield, where it would also play second, third, and fifth, and it went on to dominate all of the tournaments up until the pandemic sent everybody home. In 2022, when tournaments returned, Whimsicott was once again a
first, second, third, and fifth. That's crazy.
Second at the first tournament following the pandemic, once again with Whimsicott, and he made a really cool play where he used Dynamax Whimsicott to prevent the opponent's Amoonguss from putting his team to sleep, which I just think is cool, so I wanted to mention. Unfortunately, Whimsicott really hasn't been used at all in Scarlet and Violet, mostly because it wasn't in the game until recently, but even now that it is in the game, nobody really wants to use Whimsicott because Tornadus is also a Prankster Tailwind setter, and they gave it Bleak Wind Storm, which is some stupid move that is just like incredibly powerful, and so it's really hard to justify using Whimsicott over Tornadus when they both have Prankster Tailwind, but Tornadus is just a lot more threatening, and Bleak Wind Storm is just
That's
really
fair.
Tornadus
is just cooler.
Anyway, I think it's cool that Whimsicott is still clearly one of the best grass type Pokemon
And it's
of all
better,
time, and
obviously.
even though it's not very good right now, I think that could absolutely change in the future, especially if Tornadus isn't around. Okay, our next Pokemon on the list actually is not in Scarlet and Violet, and I think out of everything that we're going to talk about today, it's one of very few Pokemon that didn't make it into the current games. It's a personal favorite Pokemon of mine, Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn is really cool because
I do like Ferrothorn.
Type and having a ton of weaknesses. As a steel secondary type, it's incredibly tanky. Ferrothorn plays most similarly to Mega Venusaur, serving as kind of this like really annoying tank that's difficult to take down since its steel secondary typing gives it a ton of resistances. It's primarily used as a Leech Seed Pokemon that you try to kind of set up for an endgame with, where the opponent doesn't have anything that they can do to get rid of your Ferrothorn, though it has seen some offensive uses as well. It's really slow, which actually combos quite nicely with its move Gyro Ball, which does more damage the faster the target is. This is really useful against fast Fairy-type Pokemon, like Xerneas most notably, but it's also useful against faster and frail Pokemon in general, like Tapu Koko and Mega Gengar. Ferrothorn's been good pretty much since it was introduced. I actually used it to get second in a regional all the way back in 2012, which was a long time ago for anyone who can do math. But it's
2012.
Like Pokemon that's like never really been bad. It's not always like a top threat or anything, but it makes use of each generation's mechanics a little bit differently, and it always feels like a Pokemon that you have to respect or you risk losing to. Ferrothorn is also funny because it feels like it has similar usage in and out of restricted formats, but it plays very differently in a restricted format than in a regular format. In a non-restricted format, it's often there as like this kind of like super tank Pokemon that you want to bring to the end game once you've gotten rid of the fire and fighting type Pokemon, which I think are its only two weaknesses actually. And if they don't have super effective moves, and if you set up Leech Seed properly and you have leftover and protect, they just can't get rid of it, and you eventually win the war of attrition. In a restricted format, it actually makes use of its bulk as a switch-in partially, but also of its typing offensively, where a lot of the key Pokemon are often weak to Ferrothorn's type. Groudon, Kyogre, and Xerneas are all weak to one of its stab moves, and Pokemon like Mega Rayquaza actually can take a fair bit from Gyro Ball, especially if they've dropped their defenses after a Dragon Assault. Dragon Ascent? What is that move called?
It's Dragon Ascent.
I definitely used it to win the World Championships. Dragon Ascent? I'm locking in that as my final answer. I don't know. I'm not gonna.
It's
look
Dragon
it up. I don't know
Ascent.
if it's true.
Of course, it's Dragon Ascent.
Anyway, Ferrothorn feels like a Pokemon where it's
iconic.
Like always good. It's super reliable. It's really tanky. It actually hits pretty hard. And in Sword and Shield, actually, during the online era, it actually saw a decent amount of play as an Assault Vest Pokemon, where it actually worked really well as a Dynamax Pokemon. Max Steel Spike could be used to boost its defenses. Max Overgrowth kind of got around the low accuracy of Power Whip as a thing. And it can sometimes run even ground moves to raise its special defense as well. But after a couple Max Steel Spikes, it was basically impossible to remove with a physical attack, unless it was maybe a fire type attack. And so lots of players use Ferrothorn both offensively and defensively by using the Assault Vest item. Anyway, Ferrothorn was never a Pokemon that was hitting like crazy high usage stats or something. Like it never had anything similar to Whimsicott or Venusaur or anything. But the thing is that it's always been a consistent pick. Like there's never really been a format where Ferrothorn is like, oh, Ferrothorn's super bad, like I can't use it at all here. Unlike a lot of other Pokemon on this list. And even though it doesn't have like the most usage, it's always a Pokemon that seems to be whittling its way into the top of tournaments and winning tournaments a decent bit of the time. And so I feel like it's a Pokemon that like is kind of difficult to use, but when it's used well, it can have really high peaks. And I think it's absolutely one of the best grass type Pokemon of all time. Okay, the last one before we talk about the top 3 is a Pokemon that I was really kind of unsure where to put. It's the newest Pokemon on the list.
What do you think the top 3 are?
On here that has never,
Rillaboom, definitely.
It's Ogerpon, and I guess that means that it's technically 4 different Pokemon, but I'm going to treat them all as one, even though they play kind of differently.
Definitely Rillaboom.
And the whole thing is actually really confusing, because like I wanted to put it in the top 3, but then I was like, well, I can't really put it in the top 3 because like it hasn't even played in a Worlds yet, and we've really only had one format, kind of 2, but it's kind of one at the same time with it. So anyway, I really wasn't sure what to do with Ogerpon, so I'm putting it on the base list, and I didn't put it in the honorable mentions, even though I put Ogerpon Water in the honorable mentions in the Water type video because, well, like for the same reason, but there's 4 more Ogerpons here. Anyway, let's just talk about Ogerpon because the whole thing's kind of a mess. Ogerpon is one Pokemon that's technically 4 Pokemon, depending on the type of mask that it wears, which changes its secondary.
Is it Delmise? I don't think it's Delmise, right?
Your site traffic is skyrocketing.
There's no way.
Until this happens.
But it's always a grass type. We can talk about all 4 of them here. At the moment, it seems that the tier list is kind of water, then fire, then grass, then rock. But there's use for all of them, so it's not like I would say that any one of them is bad. Even the rock one, which is the least play, also like has some usage and has a niche. So Ogerpon is really confusing because the way that it functions changes like really entirely based on the mask. The base abilities change, the Terra ability raises a different stat depending on which mask it has on, and its signature move Ivy Cudgel changes type as well. At the moment, Ogerpon is incredibly strong. It's actually become the #1 most used Pokemon in certain tournaments on the second day of competition, reaching upwards of over 66% just for the water type one, which is really absurd because
just for the water type one? Wow.
When you factor in all the Ogerpons, it's just a Pokemon that kind of has everything. It has really good stats. It's naturally like tanky enough, like it's not so frail, but it also is really fast and hits.
Yeah, Ogerpon
hard.
seems busted.
Really useful. Grass and fire is not unique anymore because they made Scovillain, but rare. Grass and water for a while was just Ludicolo, so that's also a pretty rare typing. Its signature move is completely ridiculous. It's a super strong move with no
Ivy
drawback.
Cudgel, yeah.
Crit chance, which is again absurd. If it's wearing one of the masks and not the steel mask, all of its moves just get a flat 20% damage increase, which okay, like I guess that's all right.
What?
Yeah, sure, thanks, Game Freak. Also, its move pool is ridiculous. Not only does it get Spiky Shield, which is just an upgraded version of
Yeah.
Protect, it also gets
What's up, Deadly? Yeah, it has been a long time. Sorry about that.
remotely good. For Wild Clefairy,
Yeah.
Follow Me user, or one of the best
I've just had so much to do because of
how good the normal Follow Me users are, and so the fact that
school
you have
stuff,
a
because
Pokemon
the
that's
end of
good
the
with
school
stats
quarter
and
is
also has
happening for me.
it's very,
So I had no time to do anything. I didn't upload any videos or anything, but I'm back. I'll be streaming, and I've obviously switched location here. Very different and very jank, but I'm just gonna have to deal with it for a little bit. But I'm gonna get it fixed up soon. So I've got, you know, cool stuff in the background, lots of you know, trinkets and stuff. I hope you're doing well as well, Deadly. Thank you so much for coming to the stream again. Hope you've been doing well. Basically, all I've been doing, schoolwork and playing Fallout New Vegas 24/7. Like, that's all I do now. And I did finally finish the Scarlet and Violet Pokedex. So, if you didn't know, I've been waiting to get a Passimian for Scarlet for about like since the game came out. It was the only Pokemon I needed, and I finally got it from a trade, so that's pretty nice.
Let's talk about some honorable mentions. Jumpluff. This is a Pokemon
That grind, well, yeah.
similar to, like, Whimsicott mixed with
I'm hoping to get back into this whole grind where I actually upload and I actually stream almost every day. But for now, I'm just gonna stream as long as I can and, you know, get back into it.
I should say the grass type redirecting move, unless you're Ogerpon, in which case you get follow me.
And I'm planning on doing some streams of some other games, probably shooters. Most likely Overwatch, because that's all I play. Just because it's a little more engaging than, you know, streaming a bad Pokemon game, shiny hunting and stuff. You did 180 emblems on Sonic Adventure 2 on Twitch, and you've now retired to raising Chow in the Chow Garden. Oh, okay. Cool. You've been streaming Sonic Adventure 2 on Twitch? I'd have to check that out if you're still streaming. You know, whenever you are. Is your Twitch account the same name? So I can find you?
With anything, which is nice. It's a cool Pokemon. It's also just like Ogerpon. It technically is a Pokemon that has, I think it's 4 different forms, might even be 5 based on the size, and the stats change depending on the form, but that's not really relevant. I just think it's kind of funny. A Snow. A Snow is a Pokemon that like doesn't really feel like a grass type so much as an ice type, because instead of the hail, like it's not a snow, and it has seen enough usage over the years, and in specific formats it's actually been pretty decent. It's been a while since a Snow has felt good. I think back in 2010 it was actually really good. It looks like it won 3 different national championships.
Oh man, I can't believe we're almost at 500. That's... Oh man, it's just been moving so slowly since I started this hunt. Like, God. Well, it's mostly because I'm super inconsistent. I stream for like 2 hours if I do stream. But I'm hoping to stream for longer, so we can get through this. But we're about is it 1/4 or? Yeah. No, not 1/4. 1/8. Sorry. Almost 1/8 of the way there.
This is an alternative chlorophyll sweeper where it's a little bit less threatening than a Pokemon like Venusaur in terms of damage output.
Deadly Knight 88X on Twitch. Okay. You don't know if you'll do Sonic because of Burnout, but you did start a playthrough of I can't read that, sorry, something. I do casually when I'm bored. I see. Recently, I have actually started playing some Sonic. I haven't really finished very many Sonic games. Probably just like I finished Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic Knuckles, you know. But recently I've started playing more because I am playing the new one, Sonic. Oh man, what's the name of it? Shoot, let me check.
It's Tapu Bulu. Tapu Bulu is one of the most forgotten and sad.
Sonic. Oh man. I have no idea the name, and I'm not... There's so much stuff on my screen right here, I'm not going to it, but... I have been playing a Sonic game. Live stream at all in my... Is that what this is? The newest one. Yes, sorry. I've been playing Sonic Frontiers, that's right. And I've been finding it pretty fun. I mean, there's definitely a few issues, but it's pretty fun. I think it's not bad at all. I'm not very far into it. I'm like, I think I've 100%ed the first island just about, like, done all the little side missions and stuff. But, I haven't moved on for some reason. Just kind of keep replaying stuff. I don't know. Trying to get, like, S ranks on all of the different run things where you go into the other dimension. Yeah, I think it is a good step in the right direction for Sonic. I think it is fun. And when it came out, I heard a lot of bad stuff about it, but I feel like it might have some issues, but it's still fun enough to just play. So I don't really see anything wrong with it. It's kind of like Pokemon in that way. Like, well, I'd say it's a little more engaging and fun than Pokemon, but it's sort of like Pokemon in the way that it might get criticized for a lot of stuff, but it's still just fun to play, so people are going to play it. And, of course, Sonic and Pokemon has nostalgia and stuff. Alright. Oh, sorry for that.
And it didn't feel very good a lot
Bumped
of the
the
time.
camera.
It almost never
I mean,
felt good. Oh yeah, I did
Mike,
wanna read
sorry.
about it, I guess, but I wouldn't read too much into that. Anyway, it was kind of useful because it was this anti-Tapu Pokemon, where the other Tapu were more popular, so by using Tapu Bulu, you could overwrite their terrain, and you were often the one who could get the terrain. It was also like a decent defensive tool against them, and Horn Leech was actually really good against a bunch of them, or Woodhammer could KO the frailer ones. It's an interesting Pokemon for sure.
Tapu Bulu was
interesting typing.
pretty
I never really got
busted.
to make use of it because it doesn't get any fairy moves at all. I think it gets Dazzling Gleam and it's a physical attack.
I remember I would play online battles and in Sun and Moon, and I would just get destroyed by Tapu Bulus because I was very young and I had no idea what I was doing at all. But you can't ever please Pokemon or Sonic fans, but it definitely has a niche for people who just like Sonic games. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You can't please everyone with any game, really. But I think it's fun. I think the story is kind of cool. And I definitely like the voice actors a lot. I think they sound pretty good. I don't know what I was expecting, because I obviously haven't interacted with that much Sonic media and whatever, shows or anything. I did watch Sonic Boom, I think it was called, for a little bit. But I was just weirdly surprised by Amy's voice actor. I felt like it was a different voice than I had envisioned for Amy, but it's fine. It sounds good, but it's just different.
It's a Pokemon that we'll almost never see play again because it's been completely outclassed by Rillaboom. Rillaboom also sits in grassy terrain with the same ability, but it gets moves like Fake Out and Grassy Glide, which for whatever reason Tapu Bulu doesn't get. So Tapu Bulu, it had a fair bit of play during the Sun and Moon era, but now that Rillaboom's around, there's basically no reason to ever use it, in my opinion. So sorry, Tapu Bulu, see you never, bye-bye. Oh, also, it's not one of the best grass-type Pokemon of all time, and it definitely doesn't deserve to be even on the honorable mentions list, but it's my favorite Pokemon, so I'm going to mention it here.
Everyone sounds a lot more mature and serious. True. It does have a lot of serious theming to it, yeah. Especially with the monsters compared to previous games, obviously, all the different massive titans or whatever they're called. They are much darker than well, maybe not Sonic Adventure 2, but they're much darker than most Sonic enemies with Dr. Eggman bots and stuff. I also can't wait for the Shadow movie, right? Or Sonic the Hedgehog 3, the movie. That's gonna be fun. I thought the first two movies were pretty great. Especially the second one. I felt like the second one was definitely better than the first one, with Knuckles and stuff. It matched the tone of the game, yeah.
Top 3
True.
grass-type Pokemon of all time, and in my opinion, these three stand clearly above the rest, both in their history and their strength, and in the fact that they've really never been.
Yo, what up, Mr. Matt?
Always been good, always been a menace, and have often
Welcome to the
been
stream.
Pokemon that were dominating not just the grass types of the format.
Can't wait for that either. Yeah,
So start with
I
number
cannot
3,
wait.
Cortana. Ever since Cortana was introduced, it has been a complete menace.
There are only 2 viewers. That is true.
It hits very hard, and it has a
Thank you for being here, though, Mr. Matt.
Dare I say, paper thin special defense stat. This is an original joke.
Maria getting offed on the big screen in front of Shadow. That will be an interesting scene if they choose to portray that. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, they kind of have to. But you have Pokemon White and Pearl? Oh, cool. I have Pokemon Diamond, and I have Pokemon White, Black, and Black too. So I'm trying to collect one of every region, you know, one game from every region. But so far I don't have Gen 2, and I don't have, obviously, Red or Blue, so I really want one of those. It is canon, yeah.
Move on a Pokemon who can't touch other steel-type Pokemon with its stab attacks. It also gets Tailwind, and some players use, like...
Kafka.
Oh my gosh, Hoyoverse.
How do you plead?
Focus Energy and some other sets as well. Substitute was actually used
Hoyoverse,
for
nobody
so fast
cares.
that you really want to
Well, some people do,
it,
but
because
not me.
otherwise it'll just knock you out. And if you do that and it gets a substitute up, it can be very dangerous. Despite being so frail, Cortana
Do I have any of the
actually
GameCube
a
ones?
lot of play as a
I do have the Japanese version of Pokemon Box, which is not worth very much, but I know the English version of Pokemon Box is worth like a insane amount of money. I have no idea, it's like 1,000, 2,000 or something. But I do have the Japanese version of Pokemon Box for the GameCube. And I don't have XD or Coliseum, which is very sad. Because XD is one of the best Pokemon games ever. You have Pokemon Coliseum? Really? Oh, wow. I definitely am going to buy Coliseum and XD. But I have played them on an emulator, of course. Because I'm not spending that much money when I don't have that much money. But, yeah. They're great games. Very difficult. Very difficult.
Pokemon, either with the Assault Vest item, which buffs its special defense a ton, and if you invest your staff points wisely, you can survive some really surprising attacks. Actually, similarly to Ferrothorn, making use of the type.
Oh yeah, I forgot Kartana is a grass type.
And also as a Dynamax Pokemon, doubling
Does
the
not look
upkeep
like a
will
grass
allow
type.
Kartana to actually be really, really tanky.
Mr. Matt,
And
you run a
Dynamax
retro
Pokemon
game
also
store?
runs
Really?
Airstream for max
You're
airstream
kidding.
to boost its team's speed stats.
You run a
Kartana
retro
will
game
get around
store?
some Sun and Moon,
Can I
and
buy
event has
Coliseum
won
from you?
So many events, including the World Championships back in 2018. Kartana is actually similar to Ferrothorn.
Say
in
that
not just
again
typing, but
into
also
the
fact
mic,
it works
please, for
both
the
in and
FBI.
out of restricted
No.
formats because of its grass typing. Again,
Oh,
well
God.
with Groudon and Kyogre. That ends up being a really good deal with
Absolutely
grass
not.
types, as it turns out. I noticed that, you know, going into this video, I don't think I quite realized how good grass types are in restricted formats, but yeah, it's definitely something that I've noticed. But yeah, Kartana's really good against a lot of the restricted Pokemon, like, again, Groudon and Kyogre, and so it's seen a lot of play in restricted formats, but it also has such...
But, yeah,
restricted formats as
Yuzu,
well.
the Switch emulator thing, it got banned, but if you still have it on your computer, it still works, so... I'm just joking, FBI, I'm just joking. Nintendo's gonna send its ninjas after me here. You don't have Coliseum? Oh, dang. Do you have red, blue, or yellow? I'll take anything. Or if you just have like a cheap, well, cheapish, Game Boy or Game Boy Color, I'll take that. If you actually run a retro game store. That's wild. I wish. That's like one of my dreams right there, is to run or work at a retro game store. That would be awesome. I love retro stuff. What's up, Real Man? Real Man 1? You see nothing wrong with emulation. It's a more definitive way to play retros that are hard to get a hold of now, especially because of the prices. I know, I see absolutely nothing wrong with emulation, except for games that have just come out. I think that's a little bit messed up. But I think if you buy the game and then you emulate it, I think there's nothing wrong with that, of course. But if it's a super old game, they're not selling it anymore, I think you should have every right to emulate it whenever you want, because there's no other way to play it. And they're not making money from it anymore, so what's the point of blocking that, you know? So yeah. I do see something wrong with like Yuzu, if they were selling like a Patreon so that people could play games before they actually came out. I think that might be an issue, and I understand why Nintendo would block that, but you know, whatever. Preaching, yep.
Didn't win. It's an incredible Pokemon.
You've Game Boy Colors for about $80. That's not bad. That's not bad, depending on the condition.
It's not currently in Scarlet and Violet.
I kind of do want a Game Boy Color soon, so
I mean, most notably and most
does not sound like a bad deal.
Being quadruple weak to fire is very, very bad, and has helped to kind of keep it in check for a while. It also is another reason why it pairs super well with.
At 500, I'm doing an encounter for Turtwig, because every 50 encounters I do a Turtwig encounter, just so you know. Mr. Matt, you subbed. Thank you so much, Mr. Matt. Yeah. Thank you so much. Also, Deadly, and Mr. Matt, I did commission a little bit of art for my channel banner, so you could go look at that if you want. It's brand new. I just put it on there. I think it looks pretty good. It's exactly what I asked for. And soon I am going to commission an artist to do a VTuber model for me. So that's going to be great. Because I don't really like the face cam, and I like the look of VTuber models and stuff. So I thought, why not? It's going to look good. It's going to cost a lot of money, and it might be a little bit hard to set up, but I'm going to do it anyway. So yeah, look forward to that.
That being said, Cortana is still absolutely one of the best grass-type Pokemon of all time, but that obvious weakness, I would say, is not super present in our number 2 slot.
And to whoever's hitting the heart thing on the side, thank you. I see there's like 1,000 of them floating up from it.
Or World Championships? I don't know.
Are the characters OC? No, they are not. I'll admit they are not. They are, it's N. Obviously Getsus hanging over them. N, Getsus, whatever the name of the, Getsus's daughters are. I forget the name of them. I had it, I swear. But, you can look that up. And the player character from Pokemon Black and White. So, it is not OCs. But for the, VTuber model, it is going to have to be an OC. Because, you know, no one... It's probably not a good idea to make a VTuber model based on Getsus. You know, fully based on Getsus. That would not be, legally advantageous.
So, what makes Rillaboom so good? Number one,
it is really cool art, though, yeah. I like the little glass shards coming down around them and stuff. That looks pretty cool. It's based kind of on this official art that the Pokemon Company released when the game came out. So, yeah. When Black and White came out, of course.
Really, really hard. On top of that, is that kind of a nice speed stat for when it moves, which we'll talk about a little bit later, where it's like not very fast, but it's also not so slow. It's like slower end of middle, which actually ends up being
But my VTuber model, I'm thinking it's gonna look kind of like Getsus. It's just gonna be a very slightly adapted OC, you know, like Sonic OCs, okay. But yeah, because I really like Getsus's design, and I was just hoping for that to be sort of my theming there. So I think that's a good idea. But yeah.
Or its move. Number one, it gets Fake Out, which is a super valuable priority move that is used to stop opponents from attacking for a single
Of course,
turn. It's
Rillaboom's
really
on
great
this.
just as a supporting move to help your team kind of reposition.
Yeah, I can't wait either.
Takeout's not the only thing it can do, though. It
It's
has
gonna be
Wood Hammer,
great.
which, with Grassy Surge and Grassy Terrain boosting its damage output, hits ridiculously hard. People have run Miracle Seed on this thing to do even more damage.
And I'm getting it commissioned by this, like, really good VTuber modeler. Like, amazing. Sorry about this ad. Give me a second. This gosh dang AFK journey that no one cares about.
Damage. Again, the Mech Rillaboom was also an option that you could use to hit even harder because it had a special maximum that did even more damage, but most of the time Rillaboom was just strong enough in its face.
You've Pokemon Let's Go Eevee for Nintendo Switch in your site? Cool. I have Let's Go Eevee, and I think I have Let's Go Pikachu, but I'm not sure. I love those games. They're the best ones for shiny hunting, and I have a full shiny dex for Let's Go Eevee, so. And I'm doing a playthrough of Let's Go Eevee, where I'm doing shinies only, just like this, that I have not completed. I might stream that sometime. I started that a while before I started streaming, though.
Takeout is always useful in every matchup, and it hits so hard that unless the opponent has like a full team of resist, and even then, it's just going to be doing so much damage. When Rillaboom was first given Grassy Terrain, it was right before the first Players' Cup, and it won the first Players' Cup, and then...
But right now, thinking about doing multi-streaming, but the problem is I have no idea how to get it to work. I don't understand it at all. So I guess I'll just have to figure that out soon. Because I feel like it's a good idea to stream both on Twitch, on YouTube and on TikTok. Deadly, you gotta go. Good luck on the shiny. I'll try to pop back in later to see if the stream is still up. Thank you so much, Deadly. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice day. I'll see you later. Great talking to you.
It has a great ability. There's so much going for it, but not as much as the #1 Pokemon on our list. There's been a Pokemon that's been suspiciously absent from our list, and if you've made it this far, you can probably guess what it is. It's one of the most iconic and prolific Grass-type Pokemon of all time. It's always useful. It is always a huge pain to play against. It's Amoonguss. I think Amoonguss is one of the most
Of course, Amoonguss.
Pokemon of all time.
Is Amoonguss the best grass type?
Amoonguss is by far the
Mr. Matt, you also gotta go. See ya. See ya.
Only 100% accurate.
Have a nice day, Mr. Matt. I might have to check out your store sometime and pick up a Game Boy Color.
And given that it's already naturally so tanky, this is just even more annoying and makes it so hard to get off the field. It can also support its team with Rage Powder to keep attacks away from more valuable offensive Pokemon, and it can even heal its partners with Pollen Puff, a move that not only heals 50% to a partner if you hit it, but also does damage to an enemy if you hit it with that instead. Amoonguss has literally been good since I started playing competitive Pokemon in 2011. In fact, it was one of the key Pokemon that my team lost to way back in my first year in 2011. And
yeah, Amoonguss is super busted. It's in every team, and like Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, right? Yeah.
There are very few Pokemon that were good in 2011 in my first season that are still good today, and the fact that Amoonguss has managed to keep up for this long with really not that many major buffs, it's just Pollen Puff, everything else that's kind of had the whole time, is really, really impressive. Amoonguss is a Pokemon that went into the format, you have to give it so much respect, or else you risk having your entire team being...
Alright, I think for right now, I'm gonna get to 500 encounters and get the Turtwig encounter, and then I'm going to hop off, take a break, and then I'll be back on, so, yeah. Wolfie, this video is super long and it has a lot of edits. This guy's really impressive.
It's also cool because it has a bunch of different items it can use. I won a regional last year with Mental Herb Amoonguss, but Citrus Berry has been more popular. Rocky Helmet's great in formats with like Mega Kangaskhan or Urshifu or other powerful multi-hitting attacks. And that's not even mentioning items like Okaberry or Kobaberry, which have seen some use use over time. Funnily enough, Amoonguss is actually one of the main reasons, actually probably the main reason, that grass-type Pokemon received a major buff going into X and Y, where they became immune to powder moves, because with Amoonguss's introduction the generation prior, Amoonguss is just putting other Amoonguss to sleep, and it was so difficult to stop. It's actually one of the only examples of a Pokemon intentionally being run below level 50, where people would run level 49 Amoonguss, specifically so that in Trick Room, they would be slower than other Amoonguss, I guess faster than other Amoonguss, so that they could use Spore first. It was this really, really crazy strategy.
I
People
see.
were running
I
like
see.
Lumberry Amoonguss, they were running Chestoberry Amoonguss. Anyway, despite Amoonguss being really annoying to play against, it's probably one of the reasons why grass types are so good right now, because it basically forced the game to change just to compensate for it. And even that
It's so interesting that Amoonguss is the most powerful grass type. Like, it seems so like such a mundane Pokemon. Like in Black and White, like 2 evolution Pokemon, super random.
Yeah, that didn't even stop it. While there are a lot of great grass type Pokemon, in my opinion, it's Amoonguss that's the best. Anyway, I've now talked about the best fire types and the best water types, and now the best grass types. So the next type that I talk about is up in the air. Let me know what you thought about this video. By the way,
You should do
a bit
best
more of my old style,
electric type.
normal, a little bit more
Definitely.
conversational. If you liked it or if you didn't like it, I'd love to hear the feedback. I do try to read every comment. So, yeah, let me know what type you want me to talk about next. Let me know what you thought about this video, and yeah, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Amoonguss.
Let's do different Pokemon video.
If you're looking for an Airbnb you'll love,
Oh gosh, dang it.
just look for an Airbnb.
Gosh dang it. So many ads. Luckily, I can mute them. I'll probably get YouTube Premium soon, so I don't have to deal with them. But, yeah. There we go, and bang. How long is this video? 31 minutes? Okay, I guess we'll have to come back and watch this after my break. Make this sound like it's working a job. It's definitely not. Yo, what up, Night King? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for watching. We are going to start this Jaden animation video. It's, Pokemon sent her to Japan, I think. Can't really read the title from here, but basically that's what it is. And if anyone wants to chat about anything, I will literally respond to any chat question. So, random uploads, what up? Welcome to the stream. I am basically just continuing my shiny lock for a Chimchar and putting in some encounters. We're almost at 500 finally. So, pretty exciting. Not really. It's going to be a long time before I get it. But we'll see. We'll see. If you're here when I get it, it can be named after you if you're the first person to ask for it. So, that's a benefit of being here. And every 50 encounters, I do a Turtwig encounter where I encounter a Turtwig and then hope it's shiny, basically, just to mix it up once in a while. Just found the channel and you're definitely subbing. Thank you so much, Random Uploads. Welcome to the channel. I stream quite a bit. I have been gone for like 3 weeks, but I'm finally back and I will be streaming a lot more often. And I'll be streaming again today after this. But thank you. Welcome to the channel. And just so you know, soon I will be switching from webcam to a VTuber avatar that I'm having commissioned. Just because I like VTuber avatars. I think it'll look cooler. You just traded for a shiny Mewtwo? Ah, that's interesting. I remember I used to trade with my cousin. We would come over to my house and we would both have our 2DS's and we'd wonder trade for like hours hoping to get some crazy shiny legendaries from cheaters and stuff. And we'd make kind of like a bingo game out of it to see what we would get in our wonder trades. Well, it wasn't exactly bingo, but we were just like betting to see who would get something shiny first. What's up, Nothing? Welcome to the stream. Were you here before? I'm not really sure. I think you were. It's been so long. But yeah, I'm just gonna start this Jaden animation video, and we're almost at 500. This is about to be 500, so I guess here we go. And just so you know, guys, I think I'll go to like 505 encounters right now, just because there are people here, and then I'm going to get off for a break, and then I'm going to come back later. So if you'd like, you can come watch again later. If you're here when I get it, it could be named after you, just so you know. Yeah, it's been a while, nothing, yeah. I've basically just been playing Sonic Frontiers, and doing a lot of schoolwork because it's the end of the quarter, the third quarter for me, and I had to get some stuff done. So, yeah, that's basically all I've been doing. Sonic Frontiers is not bad. It's pretty good. It's very fun. Wouldn't say it's my favorite Sonic game, but definitely fun. But yeah, welcome back.
Remember when Pokemon sent me every single one of their Gen 5 sitting cuties for me to rank? Turns out they really liked that video. So much, in fact, that they said, "Hey Jaden, awesome video. Why don't you come to Japan to watch the Pokemon 2023 World Championships?" Our treat. You won't have to pay for your flights or hotel or nothing.
That is a dream come true right
I've
there
been to Japan
for any Pokemon
once
fan.
before in my entire life, and it was
Sponsored
back in
vacation to
2018 with my
Japan
family. We did a bunch
by
of
the
fun little
Pokemon company.
Japanese
That is
tourist
literally
things. It was a phenomenal
anything
trip,
I ever
but
want
ever
right there.
since then, I've always wanted to go back and do all the
Alright, there's
awesome nerdy
500.
stuff Japan has to offer that I didn't want to
I
bother my
totally
family
forgot I
with.
have
At
to
the time,
encounter
they
a
didn't even know
Turtwig,
who Luffy was.
so
They
I guess
would've
we'll
been
do
so
it
lost. So when Pokemon
in the next
extended
one,
their hand and
sorry.
offered to fly not only me but Jacob out to attend the biggest Pokemon tournament in the world, I jumped for joy.
Oh, Alpharad was there too?
Japan. The tournament was only going on for a single weekend, but Jacob and I planned to stay there for 3 whole weeks to do a bunch
Dang,
of said
3 weeks?
extra
Oh
nerdy
my
stuff.
gosh,
We
I'd
were
love to do that.
pumped. Eventually the time came, Jacob and I were packing up all our stuff, and decided we both would bring an extra suitcase so we could treat ourselves a bit and buy a bunch of cool stuff while we're there. Don't judge us, we're anime and Nintendo
Dude, if
loving
I went
impulse
to...
buyers going
Oh
to
my god, if I went to
A game
Japan, I
plan
would
was
buy
needed. We were being
an
responsible.
extremely
2
unnecessary
extra
amount of
suitcases was
items. Like,
definitely
so
gonna be
many
enough.
figurines and
Equipped
stuff.
with our extra luggage,
in,
we
like,
headed off to the
Shibuya.
airport.
Oh my
Pokemon
God.
straight up gave us business class seats. We didn't ask
Oh,
for
dang.
them or anything. So when we boarded, we realized we had the seats where you could lay down. There even was some sort of seat divider that acted like a car window, so I could roll it down.
There was
and
one
bother
time I
Jacob
went on a
whenever
plane
I
and
wanted.
I
Quick
think we were
little
upgraded
11
to business.
With Shopify's mobile app,
I think it was
you
just
can
because there was
handle
no
your
one on it.
business Anywhere. Track
God dang
sales,
ads, sorry.
Understand your customer.
An
Skipping.
hour flight later, and we were in Japan. It was time to have the best trip of our lives. I'm not joking. I had the most incredible trip and got to do
So
things
lucky.
I won't ever forget. And I won't, because I've now plastered it onto the internet forever. We landed
Anime and
midday
stuff, yeah.
Japan time, so we decided to
Do I
go
play
to the
Pokemon
first
Go?
thing we wanted
I
to
do
see
play
while abroad.
quite a bit of Pokemon Go.
Japanese McDonald's.
Probably, definitely not as much as I used to. I used to play like every day in the summers, and like I walked all over town playing a ton of Pokemon Go, doing raids with random people. And now I've kind of slowed down on that. I don't have too many like shinies or anything. I think I have like 30. I have 1 shiny legendary. I think I have 2 shiny legendaries. I have a shiny Xerneas and a shiny Zapdos. So yeah, I don't play it as much anymore, but I definitely hop on community days just to get some shiny Pokemon whenever I can. And speaking of anime, I have been watching a lot of anime recently. Like I kind of drifted away from it for a while because I was just playing too many games, but now I'm back into anime, and I finished Frieren recently. I finished Solo Leveling. I've been watching a ton of Gintama, so that's a really good one. You should watch that if you haven't. But yeah, I'm planning to watch Naruto soon, but I have not ever finished Naruto. I've gotten through like 30 episodes of the first part of it, but never into Shippuden or anything. Not to the good parts. With Madara and stuff.
I couldn't order anything except fries, but Jacob and I both dropped our jaws when we saw something called the Double Big Mac on the menu. I thought
Wait, Japan has a double Big Mac and we don't? What is this, America? We are lacking at this point. Come on. I mean, America's supposed to have the most fattening foods in the world. Come on, what are we doing? Random uploads, you gotta go. You don't think you'll join the next stream, so you'll see me later? Absolutely. See you later, random uploads. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for watching. Maybe you could catch another stream sometime, or maybe see one of my shorts or videos soon. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Oh my gosh, I've encountered three Chimchars before I've actually gotten to Turtwig. God dang it. I keep forgetting. I'm so preoccupied with so much other stuff. Like, you have no idea how cluttered my screen is up here because I only have one monitor right now. And I have to have all the stream stuff up here. So I've got like a projector of the game, a chat, a studio, like tons of different stuff on here that I have to pay attention to. You'll definitely see my other vids. See ya. See ya, random uploads. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate your support. And soon I'm going to have to go as well at 5:05. So, you know, 505 encounters. But we've gotten a few done. Not quite 50, but probably around like 35 or something like that. And I've been streaming for about an hour, so I think I'll take a little break because I need to eat. And also, my throat hurts for some reason. But probably because I've been talking so much. I'm going to fix the setup a little bit, so it's just a little more bearable for people. Maybe have some more lighting, because it's not great right now. You know what I could do? I could just turn on the light. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry you have to deal with this, people. I'm so sorry. I'm going to go turn on the light while you watch this video and see this encounter. Nope, not another Chimchar. Turtwig now. This is the Turtwig encounter for 500. I swear to God, if we get it while I'm going to turn the lights on, I'm pissed off. Oh my God, that is so much better. Take my controller. Bang. We're back. I have to adjust my camera here real quick, because it's a little bit off with the lighting. I guess it's not terrible, but I think I like it with the lights off better. Jeez. Guess I'll just keep that. But we didn't get a shiny on the Turtwig encounter, so it's unfortunate.
Thought Americans already went big with the Big Mac, but Japan did the impossible, just to send a message. What a magical place. Let's begin with the next morning. Pokemon planned a bunch of cool stuff for the creators and partners they flew out, beginning with a group field trip to the Mega Tokyo Pokemon Center. Jacob and I woke up early for it and missed the bus they had for us. And it totally wasn't completely my fault entirely, because I hypothetically didn't read the schedule correctly and was taking my sweet time getting ready. Why would you think that? So we had to take the trains on our own to get there. Anyone that remembers my first Japan trip knows the trains were me and my family's mortal enemy number one. We kept getting it wrong, and it was failure after failure the entire trip. You'd think that with all that prior experience and struggle, I would have grown as a Japanese train understander, right? Nope, we got on the wrong train. But at least we were having a good time. After a lot of freaking out and mental strain and regrets, we finally arrived at our destination, and although by the time we got there they had already
They were
finished
late?
looking at the
Oh,
Pokemon
God.
Center, we were able to
That's
grab a quick
embarrassing.
snack with the group at the Pokemon Sweets Cafe. I meant to take a picture of the Pikachu waffle before I ate half its cranium, but I forgot, so this is what you get.
Clean that up, you idiot! Love you!
Stop! The brakes, Tito!
What are these ads, dude? What are these ads? What is wrong with my god dang setup right now? So much is happening. Yeah, that's better. That's better.
As I'm in the midst of applying for residency right now, wish me luck, Grammarly has again been a life.
Oh, shut up, Grammarly.
Now that we were with the group, we were able to travel with them for the rest of the day, so we packed into the bus and headed off to a traditional tea ceremony where we were taught all about how the tea masters would make tea and tea etiquette and all these things about the significance of tea in Japanese
That's
culture,
interesting.
all while getting to taste the tea master made. Again, I meant to take this picture before I took a chunk out of the little sweet they gave us, but here we are yet again. I'm just not that great at this. They also served us a really special lunch of super fancy bento boxes, like so fancy that the host was like, dude, I've never even had these bento boxes before. I was super excited, but I don't mean to be ungrateful or wasteful, but the box was full of super fancy, complicated fish and seafood. I knew going to Japan I'd have to be flexible with food because
Yeah,
it's really
that makes
hard
sense.
to be vegan or even vegetarian there, so I really tried to eat as much as possible and look thankful. But yeah, I struggled a lot. But I still had a great time and it was an honor. We were dropped off at the Yokohama Chinatown and left to explore a bit until dinner in a few hours. Everyone separated into groups, and Jacob, Stefan, the guy that sent me all the sitting cuties, you guys remember him, the guy named Steve, and I went and pursued the street food a bit before stumbling into a little arcade with a bunch of crane machines. I got this silly little bear minifigure. His name is Chico, so I decided
What's up,
to
Alternate
innocently
Dark?
carry him around in my pocket for the entirety of the trip. You know, because it was silly. This single action severely changed the course of my mental
I think I
stability
missed
going
a
forward. You'll see soon
encounter
enough.
there
But
on the
look
counter,
at these cute
so
photos I got with them. We had a
just put
great
2 in.
dinner, headed back to the hotel, got to hang out with our good old Pokemon rival Jan a
think
bit, and
you're a
call it
little
night. The next day,
lonely.
we all got to do some private
Sure.
shopping at the Pokemon World's pop-up shop.
I'm
I'll
just
say
shiny
we bought
hunting.
way too much
Not
stuff
really
that
much
we
to
also
do.
don't regret in the slightest.
Watching
I
this
even got
video.
this video of Jacob grabbing more and more sitting cuties as the workers kept reorganizing them to keep the display
Oh my
looking
God, he has like
perfect. We walked out
100.
of there with 3 giant bags of stuff. But it's okay because remember, we anticipated this with our extra suitcases, which I'm
Good
starting
idea.
to wonder if they are going to be enough, but surely we will come down. We were then all taken to the creatures' offices. You know, just the place where they make Pokemon cards.
Oh my God.
It was gorgeous in there. They had these awesome sculptures
Whoa.
of giant Pokemon cards with crystals, and all the walls were lined with 3D card art. It felt like I was in a building with a lot of significance. Because I was. We got a tour around the building, met the TCG card testers, and were able to ask them
Definitely.
questions about their process. Even got to have a little Q&A session with Atsushi Nagashima, the game director of the Pokemon TCG.
Oh my
It was
God.
funny, one of the people in our group asked how they chose which Pokemon to make cards for. A good question. And then followed it up with, I really like Mantike, but there's only 2 Mantike cards that exist. And the assistant pulled up a list of all the Pokemon Mantike cards that have ever been created, and sure enough, there were only 2.
Really?
The director
Only 2
chuckled and
Mantike
was
cards? I had no
essentially
idea.
like, yeah, sometimes Pokemon get lost in the cracks. We kind of just make cards of Pokemon I like. For example, my favorite Pokemon is Gengar. And you know what? That actually
Alright, that's
makes a lot of
505.
sense. Also,
So,
we were able to have a Q&A session.
I'm gonna pause this, and I am going to be back later, streaming again because I'm just gonna take a little break. I've been streaming for an hour, and I just need to eat something. So yeah, I will see you later, and thank you to anyone who watched. And we're at 505 finally. We're finally past 1/8 of the amount of encounters that we're gonna need. Oh god. But it's alright. See you, nothing. I will see you later if you're here. And yeah. See ya. I'm going to fix the setup a little bit. Sorry. It's not great right now. But yeah.